Okay, team. Welcome. This is Naveen Nanjundappa from 12 Principles Consulting, and I have with me Mofis, who is a Advanced Scrum Master certification student. And as part of this Advanced Scrum Master certification program, the participant has to present a topic, and Mofis has agreed to present the topic of Scrum Values. And here he's going to present his understanding and his uh, takeaway from empirical process, Scrum values, and how they're connected. So let us welcome Mufis. Hi, Mufis. Welcome to this program, and thanks for agreeing to present this live. So I give it to you. The platform is yours. Please go ahead. You can go ahead and present yourself.
All right. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you for accepting me to be part of this live program. Okay, so before we move further, let me start sharing my screen. All right, so I hope everyone can see my screen. So please put into the chat if you're not able to see. Right, yep, like what Naveen mentioned earlier. So the topic that I'm going to cover today is about introduction to Scrum values. Okay, so we will go through one by one. Okay, all right. So before we move into the topic, so a little bit introduction about myself. So my name is Mohd Sri Mufis. You can call me Mufis. I'm from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm currently working in Kuala Lumpur. And yes, same like any other students. Of course, I would like to continuously learning, and of course, the main motive here is to learn and relearn. Right. So whatever we have learned before may not no longer similar today. So we have to adapt and inspect whether our learning is sufficient and we can further improve ourselves. Okay. So now let's move to the agenda. So in this session, we will cover three items, three topics. And the first one, we look first into the definition of Scrum so that everyone is aligned on what Scrum is all about. Next, we'll go into the empirical pillars. So basically pillars of Scrum. And last but not least, the most important topic is the Scrum values. Okay. Now let we move to the definition of Scrum. Okay, what is Scrum? Right. So Scrum is basically is a lightweight framework that help people, teams, and organization generate value through adaptive solutions for complex problems. So what it means by lightweight? Lightweight here means simple, right? Scrum is a simple framework. They only have, values, theory, and certain practices that people follow. But of course, most of the thing actually being left open for discussion by the team. And secondly, is about empiricism and lean thinking. Empiricism is we adapt based on experience and observations, right? So when the team working together, so we look into the experience of the team, and together we put in lean thinking, whereby we remove all the challenges or wastages, so that the team becomes smoother, and that's where the team improve. And of course, the other element is iterative and incremental approach, whereby the team continuously iterate their processes, iterate on how they do things, and at the same time deliver value incrementally. All right. Okay, let's move to the pillars. Okay. So basically, this is the key part in Scrum also. So in Scrum, there are three main items in the pillars. The first one is transparency. So transparency is about giving visibility to the significant aspect of the process to those responsible for the outcome. So here means that you are giving a chance for other people to see what is happening, right? So nothing being hidden about. So everyone know, everyone can see, everyone aware. And the next part, the next pillar is inspection. Basically, we do timely checks on the progress toward a sprint goal to detect undesirable variances. Okay, so when we talk about timely here, because we have a sprint, sprint is a duration. Normally, people will use 2 weeks period, but there are very various teams. They may have may use 1 week or 1 month, right? So it's up to the team. And of course, when we do inspection, how frequent we are doing the inspections. And normally we are doing it when we have a retrospective, but also during our daily stand-up, whereby we inspect the current progress and we adapt, we improvise what are the things or the challenges we face, and we improve from there. The third pillar is adaptations. So as I mentioned earlier, when we do inspection, we will adapt. Perhaps the timeline is insufficient, right? The timeline is very tight, so the team need to adjust. Okay, what are the things they need to prioritize so that they can deliver as per given timeline. All right. So now let's move to the Scrum values. Okay, if you can see from the screen, there are 5 values on the Scrum. Okay, we will touch one by one. Of course, the 5 value is courage, focus, commitment, respect, and openness. Okay, next slide, we will discover more about each values individually. Okay, so the first value is courage. What it means by courage? So basically, courage is for the Scrum team members to have courage to do the right thing and work on tough problems. Okay, but of course, it's not only on doing the right things. You also need courage to speak out, right? Whenever you see there's something that's not right or something that need to be corrected, you need to have a courage to speak it out, make it open, make it visible so that everyone understand, everyone knows, and then everyone can work together towards solving the problem. So what we will achieve by having courage? First one, of course, by having courage, then people will start speaking the truth. So you will know what's really happening, right? Nothing being hidden up. And also, people will have courage to propose new idea. And no longer people will keep it to themselves because they don't think, oh, this is will be heard or this will be taken into consideration, right? So the people need courage to voice out the idea, even though the idea may be different than the norms, right? So people need courage to have that. And then, of course, you need courage to raise an impediment. Why? Why we need courage? Because sometimes impediment may touch on other people or other parts or other departments, right? Sometimes. So people need courage to raise this so that this thing being fixed or corrected, rather than we leave it as it is without being discovered or being surfaced out. Okay, so by having courage, so people will start speaking the truth. They will be able to propose new idea and of course raise impediment as and when required. Now let's move to the second value. The second value is focus. What it means by focus? Okay, so focus here means everyone focuses on the work of the sprint and also towards achieving the goal of the Scrum team. So each Scrum team will definitely every sprint they have their own goals and objectives to be achieved, and by having a focus, so they can work together towards achieving that goals. Okay, why focus is important? The first one, because it's bring alignment towards the goals, right? So when we are focused, everyone is focused, so everyone work together to achieve the goals. Secondly, agreement on what and how, what to do and how to do it, right? So the team need to focus on the agreement as well as working together as a team, right? We cannot work in silo. So as a Scrum team, we work together, we solve issue together, and then we move together as a unit. All right, so now let's move on to the next value. Next value is commitment. Okay, so people personally will commit to achieving the goals of the Scrum team. Okay, and of course, when we talk about commitment, it's about not only about the team, but how the person itself committed to the task being assigned or being picked up by during the sprint, right?
And I have a comment.
How did
Can you check? Can you check if in the background you have a video going on?
During the sprint? No.
I have a comment. Can you check? Can you check if in the background you have a video going on?
During the sprint? No.
Okay.
Yeah, I also heard like echo.
Continue.
Yep, sorry about the interruptions. So, yep. So when everyone is committed, so the team will work together as a unit again, and then achieve the targeted goals. And of course, by having commitment, you will create an effective team, right? Because everyone also aligned to the same direction, toward the same commitment. And also, the commitment also brings the team towards self-organization and also self-managing, whereby they no longer waiting for instruction, but they came from themselves. Like they know what need to be done and they committed to do it. So without having to give a frequent reminder, they know, okay, this is my commitment and this is part of my responsibility towards the team. Okay, so we move to the next value. The next value is respect. We not only respect on each other opinions, thoughts. But of course, as a Scrum team members, we respect each other to be capable and independent people. Means that we respect them. We trust that they can do the things on their own. They have enough knowledge, enough experience to be part of the team, so that they can contribute to achieving the team goals. Right? Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, so we are respecting each other opinions and views. Okay, we also respect differences because different people we have different thought, right? They will have a based maybe perhaps based on their backgrounds, they will have a different way of doing things, but achieve the same result, right? So we need to respect that. And last, okay, the last value is openness. Okay, the Scrum team and its stakeholder agree to be open about, okay, about ideas, about the work and the challenges when performing the work, right? So by being open, we heard we hear ideas from everyone, right? Everyone from the team, even from our stakeholders, and also anyone can raise obstacles, right? So there's nothing stopping them, even though they are not directly involved with the validation part. But if they notice something is not right, they can immediately raise the issues, right? And obstacles, blockers, right? If something doesn't work and need to be addressed immediately, so nothing can actually stop them from raising up so that everyone can discuss about it. And also openness in terms of making the work visible, right? So everyone know what actually the current status of the work and where we are at currently and where actually we heading. Are we good to towards achieving our goals or not? And at the same time, all the meetings are open. The openness here means that we are not restricting anything from anyone, right? People are free to contribute their ideas. Information are free, to be received by Scrum team members. Okay, there's nothing being hide from them, right? So that are the five Scrum values that we have, which is courage, focus, commitment, respect, and also openness. So by having all these five, by working towards achieving all these five values, so what the Scrum team members can achieve? Okay, one of it is actually it allow creativity. Okay, so when the person have courage, they are committed, they have respect to each other opinion, and they open about it. Okay, the creativity will start flowing in. People will not be shy to throw in ideas, right? They also will be committed to work on the ideas. Next, it will foster innovation. By having a lot of idea, creativity in, of course, people will start, when we do inspection and adaptation, and then we innovate, right? We find better way of doing things. Perhaps in the previous sprint, we noticed, okay, this thing actually can be simplified. So in the future sprint, we are finding a better way. We are introducing new techniques to improvise on our daily work. At the same time, we also will be achieve the team will be able to achieve sustainable peace as the team works toward high alignment, being open whenever there's a challenge or obstacles or impediments. They address it together as a team, so everyone knows. Okay, the team can be trusted to work together, and they are working as a unit to solve all the issues. All right. So those are the Scrum values that I would like to share today. And yeah, that's the end of my presentation. If there's any questions, I'm open to the floor to ask any question. Yeah.
Thank you, Mufis. That was awesome. You can stop sharing the screen. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was a nice summary and then presentation on the Scrum values. And I really liked you covered from empirical thinking and then converted it into discussion on the Scrum values. There is one question. We know that all these 5 values are important and required, but if you have to choose one of your favorite values, which one would it be and why? We understand that all these values are important, but then, it is like you like a little more than others, kind of that, some small delta more. Which one would that be?
Yeah, thank you, Naveen, for the good questions. Yep. Actually, all the 5 values are very important. Yeah, and of course, it work in tandem, right? As it actually interconnected with each other. But as you said, if I have to choose one, I will go with respect. Why? Tell you the reason why I choose respect. Because first of all, when we respect people and we build trust with the team, and the team will start feel comfortable, right, with each other, and that's where they will start being open with each other, and that's where they will start, committed to the team because they know, oh, the team is supportive, the team respect my idea, and then everything and the rest of the values will be interconnected and can produce a high performing Scrum team. Yeah.
Awesome. If you have to, the second question is, if you have to look back in your experience and think about which of these values were difficult for the team to exhibit, which value would you think in your experience you have found that the team had difficulty in adapting or demonstrating that value system? Living up to that value system.
Yeah. This one also quite interesting questions, and based on my observation when I worked together with my team, most of the time actually the one value that actually very difficult for them to really put into is the courage, right? Courage to speak out, courage to actually tell this is not right, especially when it involves stakeholders and also the product owners, right? The team most of the time reluctant to say no to the request, and this has caused the team being burdened with a lot of unnecessary tasks, and in terms of even though we have done a planning based on the capacity, but still the team has to take up additional works which impacting their so-called daily life as well as the moral of the team, because they know even though they do the proper planning, proper estimation, but still it's like doesn't bring any differences because they still need to pick up additional tasks during the sprint.
Interesting. So I really appreciate 2 of your values that you picked up. One is the respect, and human values is to respect other people as well. So that was a nice one. I really feel good. And the second one is, I agree with you with that, the courage for the teams and demonstrating that courage is also very important. And it's seen as a difficult objective. Now, here is the next one. What would your advice be, or what would your tricks and tips be if the team members are not demonstrating courage? And if you want to give some tips, how do we enable the team members to be more courageous? What could a potential Scrum Master do so that their team members demonstrate the courage?
Okay, thank you for your question again, Navi. So from my perspective, there are very few things that we can do, especially as a Scrum Master, in helping the team to have more courage in speaking up or throwing out ideas from their end. Of course, we need to look into the reason why they don't want to speak out, or why they are not don't have courage to speak out. And of course, the first step is to create safe environment for them can express themselves, either in terms of wordings or maybe in terms of ideas, right? And how we do that? First of all, we perhaps can isolate. We need to identify what actually the fear factor that cause the members not to have courage to voice out. Okay, once we identify that, then we can easily, okay, we need to do coaching in both parties. One is the members itself, so to say that it is safe for you to voice out, as long as you are within the boundaries. I mean, this is work related, nothing personal, and you are telling things on fact basis, right? Because we are doing inspect session and inspect and adaptation, right? So we are inspecting what doesn't go right and what are the things that we can improve. And the other aspect is we also need to coach the other person that cause the team, that interrupts the environment, that making the environment not safe for others to voice out or speak out. Right? Most of the time, definitely the one that holding powers, like the key stakeholders or even the product owner itself, right? So these are the elements that we can do, creating a safe environment by identifying what are the so-called problem, what are the issues, and who are actually the causing all these issues. And by having that, we also can apply multiple techniques, because if the members is not comfortable to speak out face to face, so we can apply techniques where we do facilitation, whereby they can post their ideas or feedbacks through anonymous platform, right? We have like our Miro board, or we can use idea boards whereby we cannot identify who actually posts the things, but because we are not interested with whom giving the feedback, but what are the feedback that been given. Okay, so yeah, that's some of the tips that I can share with you.
Awesome, that's a very interesting, Mufis. So to summarize, create a safe ecosystem wherein people are comfortable and they can be more courageous because they feel safe, and then ensure that you identify the root cause problem, why people are not courageous, and then try to fix the problems of bringing the courage, and probably add things that would make people look beyond just their activities. Thank you so much. I think that was a great summary, and thank you so much for presenting. It was a nice topic, and I really appreciate your knowledge and sharing all your experiences with us. Thank you. And for the rest of, do you want to say anything to the audience?
Yep. Yeah. Again, thank you to you also, Naveen, for inviting me to this session, and to the audience, of course, as much as you can. Scrum, as earlier when we do the introduction, is a lightweight framework. It's very simple to be practiced. It's not only about work. You can also use it on your daily life. So all these 5 values is not only will help you on your day-to-day work, but if you practice it as your way of life, it also can improve you on other areas as well. Yep.
Okay, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Mufis. I appreciate your time. And now, for all the people, this was from 12 Principles Consulting, Naveen Nanjundappa here. As part of the Advanced Scrum Master training, Mufis had to present a topic for public. And what we did is we just put him on live. So this was a live session, no editing, and you saw his confidence and his presentation. So thank you so much for watching in. If you need any more information, you can always contact us for the details. So now we are going to wind up the session. Thank you for all of you who have joined online and has been commenting on it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay agile.